WRFG 89.3 FM Rough Ridin Raw programming, Ridin Durty crew. Your boy Vic XL hanging out on Tuesday night edition for my man Coop DeVille, who's off handling some business. Be back next week. But with all that being said, man, y'all been hearing some good godly hip hop, some good fine hip hop. My man m.a.j.o.r.s is in the building. What's going on, m.a.j.o.r.s?
What's going on? What's going on? Free your mind, people.
Free Your Mind is the brand new project from m.a.j.o.r.s.
Yes, sir.
So, first and foremost, m.a.j.o.r.s, you have been extremely active over the last, not that you've haven't been active, but you've been on a marathon's pace over the past like 18 months.
Yeah.
Like project after project after project after project.
Yeah.
So, first and foremost, what has made you turn it up?
I just think, man, you just have to develop a presence. I think good quality music at the end of the day is the most important thing, and I think if you be consistent with it, people will watch and see how consistent you are with the music, and definitely with the message as well. And I think we're in an era and a time right now within hip-hop to where you're able to be more creative, and people are able to more open and embrace it. Definitely since artists like Big Crit and J.o.r.s, and different artists like that have definitely come out, man. And I think it's just a time, man. You just have to grind and grind and grind, and people respect your grind. So I had to turn it up. You know what I'm saying?
So far we 6 songs deep into this new project.
Right.
I've got some callers who's definitely loving it.
Yes, sir.
Why did you call it what you call it? Why did you name it?
Because I think at sometimes, man, we've been fed so much garbage over the years, even from slavery. And I definitely wanted to get to the point, when you start dealing with, I think religious views and legalism within the system, I think it really has hurt us as a people. And I think it's time for us to free our mind from that and really get an understanding of really, who God is, our God consciousness, and definitely become free from that, religious aspect of this whole system that's been built, and it just divides us. Definitely us as a people, it kind of makes us feel, the system try to make us feel like, we're inferior out of all the different races around the world. And I think that at some point in time, I think we are at some point superior because we conquer everything. We dominate everything from sports to music to whatever it is, we set our minds to, we're able to conquer that. And I definitely want to deal with that perspective on this project.
Okay, the records we actually heard the first 6 records on the album, on the mixtape, and let me see what we got here. The first record we heard was Live from the Marketplace with B.b.j.
B.b.j, yeah.
With the legendary B.b.j. Like, what was the science, what was the concept behind that record?
Because what we do is marketplace. When you go into a marketplace, you have a smorgasbord of different foods, fruits, and different things like that. So what we do, we call it marketplace music, to where we go into no matter what the atmosphere or no matter what the area is, and we just present ourselves in that light and just represent God and our God being, and so we call it marketplace music, and that's something that me and BBJ kind of came up with, that whole title of marketplace music. So I just did a record called Marketplace Music because I wanted to put that out as a means of doing a dope record.
All right, after that we heard Life Ain't Sweet.
Right. Yeah, I just want to deal with, everybody go through situations in life, man, and some people, every day you don't wake up, saying, oh man, as people, religious people say, I'm blessed and highly favored all the time. Some days I'm pissed off, and I just wanted to let you know, man, life ain't sweet all the time. And so that's the kind of the concept of that record, to be short.
All right. Following that was Dead Wrong.
Dead Wrong, I just wanted to talk about the system and just how, it's just dead wrong how it's set up. So that's a quick one. I'm going to be brief on these.
All right, and the last record before the break we heard was Greatest Story Never Told. Now, before you even comment on that record, I love the line about the dress code in the schools.
Right.
Or how the kids are dressing, like boys dressing like girls, girls dressing like boys. Like, what was on your mind when you went to the studio and laid that record down?
Actually, it was an original record, on this by Saigon that produced by Just Blaze, and I just want to spit over that record and just talk about some things that's never told, and or aren't said or aren't being said. So that's kind of like what the whole concept. And I just want to just talk about everything that I felt, and that's kind of like one of the lines that kind of stuck out. You know, when a couple people that's a part of my team, you know, reviewing that as well, and it was like, well, you know, I think you might touch a little nerves on that situation, but I think that the truth is always good.
Okay, we're gonna hop back into it. What's the next records we about to hear?
The next record is called "Giving the Fire," and that's a record featuring a brother out of Cali named J-Life.
Okay.
And dude he's a dope MC, and so it's all about just spitting lyrics on this record. So you know, giving that fire.
Okay, real quick before we go back into the music, because I know you gotta you know other places to be.
Mm-hmm.
Let people know when and where they can get the mixtape.
Right.
And where they can find you, and then I got a couple more questions I want to ask before we get up out of here.
Okay. Well, I've already emailed it to Vic, so if you got Vic email, you can get that. Also, you can email me personally because I'm giving it away free. So if you email me personally, my email address is m.a.j.o.r.s. That's ITSMAJORS @yahoo.com. If you email me there, I'll email you a link where you can go download the joint free. It's not dropping until the 22nd of August, which is a couple days from now. But if you email me, I'll send it to you early. That's what's up.
All right. Also, now, what's going on with the hype? I'm probably saying the hype night church. I'm saying it wrong.
Hype night hip hop church.
Hype night. That's a tongue twister. You gotta be twisted. The hype night hip hop church. Am I say it? You say it, man. It's your night.
Hype night hip hop church.
What's going on with the hype night hip hop church?
Right now, man, we kind of put it on pause. Right now, because I had so much stuff going on, and I have had a leader to be able to step up and kind of take it, and I don't want to just implement anybody, and you know they don't put across the method and the message that we're trying to present with the culture of hip hop as well as the spiritual side of it. So we kind of put it on pause for a minute, but we coming back to it because a lot of people been asking me, yo, what's up with it when it's coming back, and so we could definitely gonna do it. Me and BBJ actually talking about the next one when we do it again. He actually talking about coming down and doing the show.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Now, is the hype night? I'm just gonna call it hype night.
Okay, yeah.
Is hype night and the open mic, is that the same thing? Because I know you were doing like a open mic as part of the hype night, or is that a separate entity?
It's all the same. We kind of combined it, so that way, you know, people will come be able to, you know, who just like hip hop music, just like dope, quality, positive music, and then there were other artists out there who just didn't have an outlet, and so we wanted to just present it as an open mic to where they can come. The only thing, your music had to be clean and it had to be positive. You know what I'm saying? And you can get on, you know, and rock the open mic. And that's pretty much what, because we're definitely trying to create a positive atmosphere for the kids, you know what I'm saying, who come. And there's a lot of kids in the neighborhood, in the community, you know, in that area in Fairburn, you know, who don't really have nothing.
Right.
Have nothing, you know, and they need a positive outlet. So they're able to come, and then at one time I was trying to build a studio, you know, try to set up a studio there as well, so that the kids will be able to record free and stuff like that. So we got a lot of plans in place that we're trying to do. But of course, you know, a lot of times it take a lot of funding to, you know, build studios and all that. So we working on a plan for that.
All right, I gotta ask this because I've been a fan of hip hop for over 20 years, and I've actually been a fan. I don't want to call it gospel hip hop.
Right.
I don't want to call it Christian hip hop. I'm just gonna call it positive hip hop. But I've been a fan of positive hip hop since the days of PID, DC Talk, when they was actually rapping. So I've known there's been a positive culture bubbling down underneath just as long as the hip hop culture been buzzing.
Right.
How did the church, or how has the church received Majors, his music, and your hype night? I can't get it out again. But how have you been received by the church? And I want you to be honest. How have you been received? Has there been any hurdles that you've had to go jump over?
Yeah. I think, well, here's the thing with the church. I'm only going where I'm welcome. Let me explain that. It's like people call and book me for churches. People call me, book me for street stuff. You know, whatever it is. But I'm doing more things in the streets because they're more receptive. The only thing with the church is you got to deal with so much religious, you know, aspect of what you got to be. It just, they want to dissect every script, every word that you say. So if I say something, if I'm being metaphorical and I'm referring the word to a gun, then that's an issue. You see what I'm saying? Versus when I'm in the streets and I use it metaphorically, then it's much more received. And then even when you look at the concept and the aspect of Jesus, it was the same way. You know, even all the prophets before him, it was the same way. So I don't expect for it to be received. It's just a lot of, they don't understand the balance of how can you use a spiritual aspect with hip hop, because they look at hip hop in a negative light, which hip hop wasn't created like that in the beginning. When it started out, when Kool Herc and all them in the Bronx, when they started hip hop, it was used as an outlet. It was all about unifying the people, and I think they don't understand the history of it. So they automatically think what they see now is how hip hop started. So then, therefore, when you talk about you do hip hop, they automatically think that it's negative. They don't understand that there's a whole nother subculture, a whole nother culture that's bubbling underneath, on the underground, or whatever you want to call it, that's not mainstream or whatever, that's positive. You know, there's a lot of dope cats that are positive out there. You know, and I think people like Africa Allah, you know, Baby Paul, all of them who are still help pushing that positive movement. You know what I'm saying? And so that's yeah, I've had plenty of herders, and a lot of art rappers, you know, even Christian rappers, they've had, you know, definitely doing conferences and listening to them talk. That's one of the big issues that they have is, you know, being received by the church.
All right. Now, I know that's one thing, because I was speaking with the gentleman who does, I like to say positive hip-hop,
right,
who does positive hip-hop, and he was saying one of the main obstacles is the church, and he was saying the second obstacle is that a lot of the Christian radio stations, it's kind of like commercial radio.
Right.
If you're an independent, positive rapper, you still got to jump through the same hurdles. Like, have you had those issues as well? I mean, how are you being received as far as radio or media?
Again, I can get, if they're not controlled by a major, you know, media market for as like Radio 1 or Clear Channel, if they're not controlling, they're independent and they're a big radio station. Generally, you know, you have guys who listen to the radio like you, and they're like, yo, man, this is dope, you know, I'll play it. But when you're dealing with commercial radio, whether it's gospel or mainstream, you know, secular radio stations, it's still politics. At the end of the day, the gospel is no different from the secular. I don't know why people try to make it seem like that when they do business. It's the same thing. They treat it the same way as they treat, you know, the mainstream. It's all about politics.
Politics.
That's at the end of the day, it's all about politics. The Praise 102, Praise 107.9 or whatever they is, 95 or whatever, they don't play rap. They don't care how positive it is, because they're appealing to their listener. They don't care about none of that foolishness.
Right.
You know, so it is what it is, man. You just have to continue to grind and don't worry about it. You make enough noise, people are going to come follow. That's just how it's always been like that.
Okay. All right, we're finna jump back into it real quick. I don't know if you're gonna be here from the next break, but first of all, I want to appreciate you coming by.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
All the time.
Oh, appreciate you for having me.
And me and you need to talk, because something kind of stumbled in my lap.
Okay.
But it's on the south side.
Right.
And I like Hype Night, and I'm like, you know, I found somewhere that Hype Night, maybe it can have an extension.
Let's do it.
So, start over this record real quick.
The name of the record is called "Giving That Fire," and it's featuring my man J Life.
Mixtape is called
Time to Free Your Mind. Cop that joint, man. Holla at me.
And they can get it where?
It's majors at yahoo.com. That's ITS m.a.j.o.r.s at yahoo.com. Holla at your boy.